Personal story segment today, a new book entitled Clinton Cash, the untold story of how and why foreign governments and businesses help make Bill and Hillary rich. Very long subtitle. Well, it's putting Hillary Clinton on the defensive, no question about it. Book's going to be released in 2 weeks. There's already major controversy. With us now to explain what's going on, Melissa Francis, who anchors her own program on our sister network, the Fox Business Network, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I have to say that.
Yes.
If I don't say it, I get fined. Sister network.
You can afford it.
I can.
Yeah.
I can, but I don't really want to get fined unless I really feel strongly, and I don't. Sister network is fine.
Okay.
Okay. So Hillary Clinton, you haven't read the book. I haven't read the book.
Right.
We're trying to be fair to her. The damage thus far is what?
Well, here's the thing. People have long looked at the money machine that's behind the Clintons, whether it's the speeches or it's the foundation, and they've tried to say that this influences her decision-making and that would be dirty. Someone needed to dig in and try and connect the dots and say, on this day, the foundation of the Clintons accepted money from this government, and then she made this decision the next day on behalf of the State Department that wasn't in America's interest. He purports to have done this. They've leaked a few little bits out.
This is Peter Schweitzer, the author, who is a conservative person. Heritage Foundation?
I'm not sure if it's Heritage. I know he worked for the Hoover Institution, which is Stanford think tower.
Yes.
But he is, he is a hardcore investigative journalist. He is respected by the New York Times.
And he's going to have to back up his facts. And the Clinton Foundation finances are public.
They are public. They haven't been totally transparent, and what they've put out there has been really questionable. I mean, they're taking tens of $millions from the Saudi government, and you're wondering, if the Saudis really wanted to provide mosquito netting in Africa, they could do that on their own. They don't need the Clintons.
That's interesting.
So you begin to wonder why. What do they think they're getting for the money?
So Hillary Clinton's a very powerful position as Secretary of State.
Yes.
But she's not a decision maker on foreign policy. President Obama is the decision maker. She can say, I recommend you do this. She can do a few things, but not the big things. For example, I think in Mr. Schweitzer's book, he says in the nation of Colombia, there was a quid pro quo, a big donation from some guy, and then all of a sudden he gets a lucrative contract. Right? Well, Hillary Clinton can't make those contracts happen. They have to happen at a bigger level, I believe. So is it all implication?
It was a free trade agreement that went their way. I mean, there was money that the Clintons got from a board member on the Keystone XL pipeline. The State Department was looking at that and writing a report at the time. I mean,
so she just said nice things and somebody else made the deal. Okay.
Well, but still, I mean, it would be surprising if she was not against the Keystone pipeline, right? That doesn't fall into her wheelhouse. So if she's doing something outside of what you would expect, and then she's also getting money in her family, you start to really...
All right, two other questions that aren't speculative. Number one, she's running on, it seems, income inequality when she, as I just pointed out to Dr. Goolsbee, making all her money at the top 1%, giving speeches for six figures, and Bill Clinton, huge money. All right, as she's Secretary of State, his fees went up. His lecture fees went up dramatically. And as soon as she left, they went back down again. So does this hurt her?
I mean, it's interesting. She tries to paint herself as an every person. That's the problem. She's made at least $100 million, could be more, the two of them together. They point at these other CEOs that have made that kind of money. And there was that Washington Examiner article, I believe it was, where they were quibbling over who makes more, the CEO or Hillary. They're both beyond wildly wealthy. It's when she tries to then say, we were dead broke coming out of the White House.
But they were dead broke coming out of the White House.
Because they were trying to buy a $1.7 million house and they couldn't get a mortgage.
No, it was because they had so many legal fees defending Bill conduct that they were. But that doesn't make any difference. And the final thing that I think she may be having to explain is they shelter a lot of their money so they don't have to pay taxes.
What you're thinking of is the inheritance tax. And this is another thing where she's gone out there and said, rich people, if you have more than $5 million you're passing on, you should pay this 40% tax or it should be higher.
45.
It turns out that they have wisely shielded their assets in a living trust so that Chelsea won't pay that tax. But she's out there advocating, pounding the table for people to pay more. You pay, but I'm not going to.
But I'm smart enough to hire
I'm not going to
Swifty, and Swifty's got me into this. What is it again?
It's a living trust.
Living trust. Swifty got me in there, but you pay the 45%. I mean, I think she's got some problems there. All right, Melissa Francis from our sister network. Directly ahead, Pope Francis calling for compassion as Europe is invaded by folks from Africa and the Middle East, and it may be America's fault. That report moments away.